What up, fam? So, bro, what's a kaiju? Nah, gang, that shit ain't real. They said it was one who looks like Godzilla the other day. And come on now, that sound like some. Oh shit! And yeah, off the bat, we got 7 bodies, including the baby. And the thing that did it was this big ass lizard, aka a kaiju. And bro is tearing up the city. We see this off-brand Godzilla come around the corner, and I'm thinking just like in every other show, the army is useless. And then they start talking about the divisions, and we see Shawty flip out the plane with no parachute. She knew this was cold. Then she darts off and Godzilla starts getting some shots from this group. They doing the cleanest electric slide I ever seen. This is an instant ticket to the cookout. And then they start putting work on Godzilla's little cousin. And while they doing that, Shawty from before them posted up with the cannon. She spawned in from nowhere and sent a shot straight at bro. And not only did it hit him, but it had a little crack in it too. So we finally see the MC, and it's not a lackey in the division that pulled up, it's actually the maintenance man. This is Kafka, and he kinda raw his job I guess, but he tired of dealing with Kaiju Dookie. So long story short, the girl from before who was cold as fuck is his childhood friend, and he trying to get right. But he knows he has to get his clout up and his motion up to get something that bad. So he pulls up to work the next day and meets this rookie who clowns him for quitting his dream of being a soldier. But after a day's hard work, bro respects Kafka a little bit. And while he walking away, he like, yo Unc, they made the age higher if you want to be a soldier again. It's 33 now. Huh? And Kafka thanks him for the info. Since he's 32, this means he could sign up. And then this big mouth pulls up, and I know this nigga breath kicking. Like, look at his teeth. So bro was about to get eaten, but Kafka saves him, and then he tells him to run and call for help. And Kafka's telling him to go while he attract bro's attention. And this dude is way uglier than I thought. So Kafka's sliding off on bro. He really made it to the space where he can't reach. And my problem is, why not just stop right there? Me personally, I just stay there till the cops pull up and do him like they did the last one. But he keeps running and he jumps out the window on some free falling shit. And when he gets back up, this spider comes back and Kafka holds up this stick like he didn't just break through a building. And the spider must have heard me because he just pimp slaps him for the disrespect. And bro was doing the sideways 360. Now it looks like it's over because when he lands, the spider breaks that leg and gets ready to eat his food. But look at this man's breath has to have some poison damage. But then bro comes back with the stop sign and clocks this monster. He tells Kafka he got his back, so this spider coming for his get back, and this freaking tiger pulls up, which knocks the hand's trajectory off, and bro got lit up like the 4th of July. And who else would it be but the one that got away? She pulls up, and I thought they was gonna have a little moment, but she doesn't say a word and just dips off. And this wouldn't get a little crazy. We see Kafka in the hospital, and he talking to himself about being a soldier, and the ugliest mosquito I've ever seen pulled up. And bro doesn't ask her nothing, he just waits till my dog screams and inserts himself into Kafka. So now he tweaking bad, like look at the curl in them toes. And then white hair just pulls back the curtain and we see this cold ass kaiju. So Kafka just depletes the aura by screaming with Reno, and this old head in the back doesn't even hesitate. He just pulls the phone out cause he finna put a bag on his head. And of course his crush pulls up with her crew, so they get to dipping. But while they running, Kafka realizes he can sense another kaiju in the area and he trying to test out that new upgrade he just got. So then we see this lady and this kid, and my Dukes is crushed under some rubble. And while the kid trying to help, that kaiju warming up them taste buds in the back. He ends up breaking the roof and starts going for the kid first. And then we see Kafka pull up with this mean ass left hook. Sent this bit through like 5 houses. You know what's crazy? Imagine how many people just died if they didn't evacuate already. But that's besides the point. Kafka realizing he's strong as shit, but bro pulls back up for his rematch. And Kafka pulls this right hand back, and when bro tries to go in for a bite, he simply dodges and goes for the uppercut, which made bro inflate like a balloon and then explode. Turned that boy into pieces. Now after they check up on the girl and the mom, they flee the scene before the cops pull up. So now Kafka decides to join the defense force for real. So he's with Reno, and it's pretty normal till this girl pulls up and she clowns him for being old. Then she picks up his car and throws it because he's in her spot. And this is why they don't give powers to someone like me, because I would have turned into a kaiju and gave her a ticket to a Michael Jackson concert. But he don't say nothing, he just picks up the whip and surprises this spoiled brat. She even got a butler. So anyway, they pull up inside and they going through the test, and Kafka must be feeling like a washed up NBA player. He trying to figure out why he can't keep up with anybody. It's because you're too old for this, Unc. Nobody escapes Father Time. It's looking bad for real, because he ranked bottom 6 out of 225 people. So while they waiting for the next exam, Reno tells Kafka that the girl is from a big shot family. So he goes up to ask, and security spawns in to plant his hand into Kafka's face. Then they start stomping that boy out like he stole something. So now the next test finally starts, and this time they'll be finding some kaiju. So everyone starts putting some gear, and the gear starts amplifying combat ability. And they're taking power readings based off of potential. So we see a lot of the prospects getting good percents I'm not sure if that's the word. And the girl pops up and she has 46%, which is more than double a fully trained soldier. It's even a record for trainees. Then we see our main character. Boy, this was rough. 0%. Another record for the lowest percent of all time. But it's time to start the real test. And the soldiers run out and the girl gets straight to work, running on walls and all that. Mind you, Kafka can't even hold his gun. So him and Reno start getting a move on, and while they talking, some kaiju pops up and that got my boy Kafka bleeding. Then he skips that boy into a wall. Yeah, this man Kafka is either dead or part Viltrumite. Then he starts walking to his food and the kaiju gets lit up, and it was that girl Shinomiya. She saved that boy, talked some shit, and then pulled off. So Kafka gets back up like a real one, and everything's going right with the test for everyone else. Shinomiya receiving hella glades, and while she walking off, dude right here pulls up and just hits her with this shot straight to the chest. And she tries to get up and get some shots off, but bro grows his eyes and shoots some more shots at Shotty. One bullet for each limb, and she lets off this gut-wrenching scream. And now bro is controlling kaiju. So while that's getting back up, Shawty has a little motivational backstory, but that don't matter because she just gets sent into the building. And yeah, I don't care what you say, if she isn't dead, it's just plot armor. And she's somehow back up. But that arm doing the stanky leg. I guess this kaiju gets amplified by pain because it hears the scream and transforms. And while the heavy hitter's pulling up trying to save Shawty from this death ball, Kafka pulls up with that new kaiju swag. And Shinomiya trying to figure out why he like this, but he just gets ready to send this boy back to where he came from. So he loads up another heavily telegraphed right, but I mean, it works. And this kaiju tried to give him a fist bump, but Kafka don't deal with no fake niggas, so his aura just disintegrates bro. And now Shawty just falls asleep due to the fear and shock of almost dying. So everyone is asking questions like who did this to the kaiju. Mind you, Kafka is keeping his identity a secret so he doesn't become a lab test dummy. And all we see next is the alien looking kaiju in the bathroom on the phone with somebody. Oh nah, bro is too intelligent. Then he pulls up outside, and if y'all remember, this is the cleaning crew Kafka used to be with. Yeah, shit about to get wicked. And you know what else is wicked? The time it took to make this video. So drop a like, comment, and subscribe, cause it's free. Anyway, so a couple of days later, all the rookies joined up, but the only ones who can pull up is the ones who passed. Problem is, no Kafka. Damn, my boy tried his best. Psych! He was just taking a dump, so he a little late. And he passed, but only as a cadet, meaning he's basically the Defense Force water boy. Which is straight, cause it's better than cleaning kaiju dookie, and it's one step closer to his goal. So they get past the graduation, and the bros link up with Shinomiya to discuss Kafka being the kaiju. And she basically says she gonna keep her mouth shut because he saved her life. I guess she's spoiled, but she's not that bad, at least she's fair. So later on, Kafka is in his room doing some studying, and he gets pulled up on by the vice captain. And they get to discussing fine shit, as real niggas do. But while that's going on, an alarm goes off. And you know what this means. It's time to go exterminate some kaiju. So we get a look at the group, and they getting ready for their first mission. And we get to see this big ass mushroom, and this is the kaiju. The problem isn't this giant mushroom, it's the kaiju that spawned from it non-stop. So now the rookies move out and they get to shooting at the kaiju, and they doing their thing, handling business, but Shinomiya just showing off. She's taking out more than the veterans, so while everyone taking out kaiju, Kafka realizes that they gonna keep coming back if they don't start attacking the core. So he alerts the vice captain, who shares the info to the rest of the soldiers, and that gives my boy some well-deserved glaze. And while Kafka out here doing these water boy activities, his been putting in work for real. She on the rooftop with this VR headset with this gun bigger than her. So she takes aim at the kaiju, starts charging up that cannon, and yeah, she just one-shotted this big ass mushroom. But the core's still up, so she don't waste no time. She loads up again, gets the okay to shoot, and takes off the whole top half. And she's still not done. She gets off 2 more shots to make sure bro is done for real. And the vice captain pulled up on Kafka to glaze his girl, but a kaiju pulls up and bro gets a chance to show us why he's the vice captain. We didn't even see him pull the knives out, and bro says he specializes in fighting normal sized kaiju. Yeah, Kafka, your best bet is to keep your identity a secret. They done put Levi's little cousin in this show. And now we finally see why Shawty was shooting at kaiju so many times. It's because she knew it was gonna spawn an infinite number of kaiju. And I'm not gonna lie, they would have had to pay me like I'm Jeff Bezos to do all this crap. So they start doing cleanup, and Reno and this dude are running towards some kaiju, and they run into this man with this monster cleanup gear on his back, and oh crap. So this kaiju, which is the same one who popped Shinomiya, is here, and he starts sending shots at the bros. His shot made a crazy hole right near the heart. They trying to figure out who it is, but there is no time for that. Bro is talking about capturing somebody and bringing one back alive. And when Reno tries to call for backup, the kaiju says he messed up the signal so nobody can hear him. And then he loads that nasty ass finger up and sends a shot at Reno. One in his hip and one in his leg. Reno sends this ice shot to buy some time, and bro realizes he can't help, so he runs off, and now Reno is in a 1v1 with this alien looking kaiju, and Reno shooting, but he not hitting none. Meanwhile, if he takes one good shot from that alien, it's over. So bro flash steps to him and dares him to shoot. Then he summons some more limbs, and it looks like they all about to shoot. And right when it's looking bad, the Ginger came back to save him. They start trying to attack back and finally get some shots in. Ginger even hits this lightning shot in the leg, and Reno comes back with some strong ass ice rounds. And I thought they was finna cook him, but then we see some corpses spawn in front of him. Bro used them as a shield, and then he pops out and hits Reno with his finger again, but this time he gets like 8 shots off. So Kafka senses a kaiju in the area, and he notices Reno's signal is off, so he about to pull up. We see Reno, and he got like 5 holes in his torso. That boy is literally bathing in blood. But Ginger a real one, he saves Reno by letting these shots off, and the kaiju blocks him, which makes the Ginger start crying. Alright my boy, I just called you real, now you acting like a little hoe. And right before he gets that trip to the upper room, Kafka hits that boy with a right hand so hard, his head came off. Now he saves Reno, and the kaiju and him face off. The kaiju dude sends a shot to test Kafka's strength, and then spawns in these big ass balls. Hey yo! But that just made Kafka mad, cause next time he simply deflects the shots with his scream. Flash steps next to bro and starts hitting him with this attack from JoJo. So bro uses the corpse to block, but that's not enough, and Kafka back to getting these hits off. This kaiju is confused on why he's getting whooped like this, but fuck that, we trying to see that lunch. Kafka plants his feet, brings the arm back, and fists his stomach. No pause. And the dude gets flung back so far, I know Kafka caught an innocent body. But now his core is exposed. And before Kafka could kill him, these soldiers pull up and they distract him. But bro uses that time to regenerate, and then he slid out of there. And now Kafka dips off. So he in this alleyway trying to get away, and he Gucci right now, but why did this have to be the guy who caught him? The same man who moves too fast to see, and he gets straight to it. Flash steps in front and goes for the head. He goes for the gut and then sends a downward slash. He misses the left, jumps up, and then comes back down with a double slash. Kafka more nimble than what I thought, cause bro should have been dead at least twice. And let me just say, this purple aura is tough. So Kafka obviously realizes he can't fight him, cause he gonna turn Levi into a hashtag. But Levi slices that boy clean through the chest, and so the best thing to do is run. And Kafka tries to get away, but bro fast as shit. He comes back with some more slashes, and Kafka trying to block, but he's still getting hit. And look at this wall jumping scene. Isn't this wild? This man Kafka is literally part monster and can't escape bro. And when he finally catches him, he slices clean through that arm and shoulder. So he regenerates and gets back to dodging crazy, and the captain heats up those blades and throws a slash. He catches one leg, and bro jumps in front of Kafka to go for that core, but he bites it with his nipple. What kind of mutation is this? And Kafka loads up an attack, so I'm thinking he about to take this man off the map, but he only hits the blade and then runs off. So now they all group back up, and bro is trying to figure out why Kaiju is running. He knows something ain't right. But later on, after the mission, everyone is celebrating, and I'm confused. I thought Reno and bro was hurt. How are they perfectly fine now? But besides that, Kafka's tip he gave the vice captain earlier granted him to move from water boy to real officer. And yes sir, it took that boy 32 years, but he finally did it. And later on that night, we see these big ass dinosaur looking kaiju, and one posted up with all red. Why is he just standing there like that? Like, yes bro, we see the fit. But nah, real shit though, he's definitely tough. So now Kafka on the roof after a long day of being a kaiju, he just sees these meteors start falling down. So the scientist in the back office calls to report that all those meteors were kaiju launching an assault. Mind you, these are flying nukes working together in a coordinated attack, which doesn't make sense because all these kaiju shouldn't be together. And the vice captain realizes it's because something was strong enough to make them swallow their pride. And bro pulls up on Levi, literally asking to fight the strongest. And he came to the right place because Levi ain't just copying the look. That sword get active too. So bro flicks a bullet at him, goes straight for the flash up and then the punch. Did this nigga just speed blitz our fastest soldier? But we get a look and bro made it out. So the kaiju does a screech and gets the crowd going. He flash steps again and barely misses the punch. But now Levi done pulled out these blades and that's boosting his speed. So he's zapping around bro while getting some slashes off, but he realizes he can't cut through him. But while that's going on, the recruits start getting active. Kafka told him about the weak point, and Shinomiya don't care. She comes through with this axe and cuts one right through the scales, which is opposite of the weak point by the way. She got this new toy from the captain and she putting it to work. It has a trigger to make a shockwave mid-swing and another one to make an extra shockwave on impact. So they start getting the upper hand on the kaiju, and we check back into the red kaiju, and bro grew in size and power. But he moving too slow to hit the second in command. The problem is he launching these cars like nothing, and he's smiling mid-fight. So bro eventually catches Levi lacking and hits him with this mean ass hook. And it was blocked, but Levi also got that arm as a trade. And now it's time to turn the tide. That red had gone on point. So now they both run in and Levi gets off a slash. Bro dodges, runs in again, flips over the punch, gets the arm, weaves, and then gets the shoulder. Yeah, he weaving, but them attacks ain't really doing too much damage. And am I the only one who thought bro could regenerate? He just walking around armless and shit. But now Levi makes it around and hits him with his X. Shout out to that boy Luffy. And this time that flesh showing. Then bro tried to retaliate, but that arm coming off too. And then he slashes the amputee again, right before cutting off his head. Like damn, I know we calling you Levi, but you ain't have to take my dog's finishing move. Thing is though, you not Levi, cause he would have cut clean through that neck. And bro must have heard me talking about him regenerating, cause now he regenerated everything. And they go back and forth again with this exchange, but nobody really hits nothing. Levi gets off these weak ass paper cuts and Redman hasn't touched nothing but air in the last 3 minutes. So I guess Levi heard me yapping too and took that boy arm off again. But this time that core is exposed and Levi really showed us why he's the lieutenant. But Kafka starts feeling the presence of a strong kaiju and bro comes back with an even bigger form. Now in most cases a bigger form makes you weaker. Unfortunately, this is not one of those cases. Bro is now the size of a moving skyscraper. It ain't much a human can do. So the vice captain's still doing his job and getting some hits off, but nothing effective. And he also getting to the limit of his suit, which means he pretty much toast. So Levi runs into this building to get closer to the core, and he jumps out the window, but he set himself up. These eyes pop out of nowhere, and bro smacks the hell out of Levi. He gets sent through some buildings, and now the suit is out here asking for help. Thankfully, he gets up, but now he just trying to keep his distance while these birds trying to hit him. And when he tries to respond with an attack, bro gets grabbed mid-flight. And this nigga Kafka finally pulled up to watch bro get crushed. But we straight, cause right when it's looking bad, we hear, "Hey, good job staying alive, y'all boys, but a real one just stepped in." And then Levi says, "Well, Kaiju, you lose." Then bro gets a mean ass back shot. He drops the lieutenant and she sends a shot again, taking that arm meat out. Now the Kaiju trying to defend himself and send his lackeys at her, but she too nimble for that. So now the lieutenant coming back in to help and he getting some cuts off, but since bro got regen on 100, it don't matter. Until Shinomiya pulls up, they decide to hit a combined attack that drops him to his knee. And right when Shinomiya runs out of energy, the captain gets off this one back shot that exposes the core. But that's not enough. He gets back up and the captain starts doing his best Levi impression we've seen today. But eventually that plot ran out and he about to become some kaiju protein. But then the captain says,
"I was right to make you my vice captain."
Unleashed combat power, 96%.
And she got the veins popped out to hit him with the devastating shot. And now it's finally over after that shot. They had to kill that boy like 8 times. So all the soldiers are getting checked up on and it's finally a good moment. But then Kafka looks up and all we see is the bird kaiju gathering together to make a nuke. And the scientists calculate the blast and our soldiers can't make it that far. And with his last breath, the red kaiju says, "I guess it's a draw." But Kafka starts running off and in front of everyone he transforms. And everyone is shocked, but forget all that, we got a mission. So Kafka loads up that right hand he loves so much and flies up into the sky. And he's sending that bomb into the atmosphere. So he finally gets it up as high as he can. And when it goes off, it makes a bang, but it looks like the crew is safe. And unfortunately, Kafka about to reap the consequences of his actions. They all up the blick and capture my dog. See, this couldn't have been me. I would have ran, cause like, what the fuck y'all gonna do? But then again, I'm not the one with the powers. And they really caught my boy. I thought this was gonna happen in the later season. Bro got caught after his second mission. So now he getting transported and all the soldiers in his division giving him the cold shoulder. But then right before he leaves, Reno tells him that he knows he'll come back. And the captain breaks character finally and tells Kafka that they know he's an ally, so she's gonna try to help. And this is where all that persistence finally paid off. Cause she even tells Kafka that she'll be waiting for him to stand by her side. Yeah, that's what I like to see from my main character. So we cut to Shinomiya and she's speaking to her pops, who is also the general. And she trying to use that privilege to request Kafka's safety. But bro just stops her instantly. "So you came to talk about your failures and thought I was gonna help? Look at this. He has a core, meaning he's a full kaiju, just like the one who killed your mother." And did he say all that just to traumatize her? Like, I'm sure she knows the kaiju killed her mother already. And then she just walks out. And the next thing we see is her dad walking in with the gang. And let me just say, this is that grown man strength for real. Kafka must have never got the update. So Kafka starts explaining that he's not a kaiju, and the general lets him out just to hold the blick to his face. So he unloads some shots, and now Kafka turns part kaiju to protect himself. And OG moves in and literally rips a chunk of flesh with his bare hands. Then he tells him that he is a kaiju whether he likes it or not, and passes the flesh to the scientists. The men in the back come to the front to unlock the boxes, and these 2 gauntlets pop out. These are weapons made from kaiju number 2, and OG is getting a crazy boost from them. And bro slaps Kafka down with his hand, which takes off his whole arm. Then before he can even land, he sends another shot at him. But Kafka's chilling right now. He lands down looking more like a kaiju, and OG ain't done. He's chasing Kafka but can't really get a hit in until he closes in and throws this punch that doesn't connect, but the force from it alone takes his arm out, and the second one takes out his leg. Kafka regenerates, and I don't know what happened in this sequence, but bro somehow got in for the uppercut and launched that boy Kafka into the ceiling. Nah gang, this is a bad look, but he wakes up from his nap and dodges the finishing blow, and Kafka says this feels like he's fighting another kaiju. And this next sequence is rough because Unk rushes in, Kafka dodges the left, Unk throws the right, and that arm is gone. Goes back in with the left, and that torso should be gone too, but he just ended up with some squished organs. Now Kafka tries to retreat, but to his surprise, his legs got taken off. Then the general moves in and murks that boy. Well, that's what I thought, but I guess Kafka got a little Kurama inside him, cause bro took over and blocked the attack. Now we see Kafka trapped, and this kaiju booting up for real without his consent, and that bug from before pulls up telling him to kill some, and kaiju number 8 rushes in and loads up this right. Bro weaves nonchalantly, and before he can attack the opening, Kafka does a full 360 to disconnect his torso and land a punch. The man just destroyed his body to land a punch. Yeah, in the fight right here, cause trust me my boy, you don't want to win as bad as him. Fortunately, the general blocked it, and Kafka starts trying to hit him with this attack from JoJo's, and the general dodges, then retreats. And while Kafka is in the air, he comes back in for this attack and sends him to the wall. And the general notices the core is gone, which is weird cause he's a kaiju. Bro started regenerating from the core itself. He literally removed the core to get a hit in. They collide and it looks like a stalemate, but the scientists realize that the general is actually testing kaiju number 8 to see how he acts under pressure. Now we look back to see the general pushed into the wall. He dodges the attack and gets like 5 shots off on Kafka. And before he can land, Kafka returns the favor with a punch that takes out his side. Now Kafka grew in size and he's turning red. The general tries his best attack, but Kafka just roars like Kurama does when he's mad, and it launched the general back. They done started up the sad music while bro gets grabbed and then gets slammed into the wall. So it looks like it's over for the general until Kafka controls himself at the last second and stabs his own heart. Then he says,
"I am not Kaiju number 8. My name is Kafka Hibino."
And bro falls unconscious. They come in to recover the general, and now it's time to discuss what we gonna do with kaiju number 8. And long story short, they decide to control the power instead of killing them. So the general goes to see Kafka in the hospital, and he tells him that they gonna leave him alive as long as he's under control. And the rest of the crew got the news too. So that means he gonna have free reign to go kaiju mode if something happens. Unfortunately though, that's the end of season 1. The show was great, so check it out. And season 2 should either be out right now or be coming out by the time this video drops. And if you have other show suggestions, let me know. I hope y'all enjoyed the vid, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. I'm out.